सीताराम सीताराम जय जय राम। राम 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 जय जय राम। राम सीताराम सीताराम जय जय राम। राम सीताराम सीताराम जय जय राम। सीताराम सीताराम जय जय राम। राम सीताराम सीताराम जय जय राम। राम लाउडर। राम सीताराम जय जय राम। राम सीताराम 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 सीताराम जय जय राम। Complete absorption. सीताराम जय जय राम। राम सीताराम 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 जय जय राम। राम सीताराम सीताराम जय जय राम। राम राम सीताराम सीताराम जय जय राम राम सीताराम जय जय राम राम सीताराम 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 सीताराम जय जय राम जय जय राम राम सीताराम सीताराम जय जय राम राम सीताराम सीताराम जय जय राम. All of us together. राम सीताराम सीताराम जय जय राम. श्री रामचंद्र की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की. हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय. How many of us were able to completely absorb and focus without our mind going here and there, running during the kirtan? Anybody, can you raise your hand if there is one person who was able to completely focus? So this is actually the reality. This is the state of our existence. And that is why we are here. That is the reason why we are taking birth after birth after birth. That is the reason why we are stuck, making some progress. Somebody going walking, somebody going on cycle, somebody going in car, somebody going in jet speed um, in our path of bhakti. It purely depends on what is our consciousness. Because Ram Nam is available everywhere. The access to the kripa of Bhagwan is everywhere. It's like sun. Can somebody say that sun rays is partial? No, it's everywhere. But if we are sitting in a room, in a temple, we are not getting it as much as somebody who is walking outside is getting. Yes or no? So it is the problem of our effort, it is the issue of our journey that we are stuck. Now, how do we address it? My next question, how many of us have read Ramayana? Full. From beginning till the end. You have read. Very nice. So, it is no wonder that, we are, I will put it the other way. If we don't invest, is there anybody who is in banking here? Banking, CA, accounts. If we don't invest, can we get returns? We cannot. Even Krishna in Gita is saying, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam state bhajameham mama vartamanu vartante manushya partha sarvashaha. So we have to first invest and then he takes the step forward like that. Even in our sadhana, it is first step is Shraddha. We have to invest our Shraddha, then we get what we are looking for. So what prevents us from reading Ramayana? Okay, does anybody here know how Lakshmana left? Does anybody here know what 50 sins Bharata lists what human beings can commit? It is such condensed knowledge. Does anybody over here know what Sita Mata tells Ram when Ram is going to the forest? To a level where Sita Mata tells Ram that I wonder, whom did my father marry me to? He is not even a man. Do we know that? That Mother Sita told this to Ram? Does anyone here know that Mother Sita and Ram had a competition in river Godavari where they swam and who won? Mother Sita won. Logical conclusion. So many pastimes, so many beautiful details of how to lead a human life. We all struggle in difficulties of life. Yes or no? Is there here anybody who says that nahi mere ko to koi problem hi nahi hua hai abhi tak? Then we should avoid that person because he's telling opposite to what Krishna is saying, that this is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. So we face problems and we struggle. We are looking for counsel, we are looking for help, we are looking for answers to most difficult situations in our life, and answers are in front of us. Anybody here who's heard about Dharampalji? A very, very well known author. He has written 6 books. He went through the records of Britishers over 250 years of their records and their writings, their reports, their journals, travelogues, people who traveled to India between 1750, around 1700 till 1950, till till we got independence. And he wrote 6 books. One of that book is called The Beautiful Tree. In that, there is two informations which I would like to share. One is that he shares, this is a side information apart from Ram Navami, that Navadvip was one of the highest known pitha or the place for Nyaya Shastra study, which we know in our acharyas, and also Chaitanya Charitamrita tells that Swayam Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was one of the most well-known scholars in Nyaya. Exactly the same way, Dharampalji lists in his book that across 5 lakh institutions in our country, all the institutions, 5 lakh institutions, can you imagine? In India, we had 5 lakh educational institutions and less than 4 lakh villages. That was the situation of our country. The whole United Kingdom during that time had 75,000, not schools, students. We had 5 lakh schools, institutions, and whole UK had 75,000 students going to schools like Eton and Cambridge. And India boasted of the best education system in the country. And across all these 5 lakh schools, there were 3 books which were taught. He is listing. He is not a devotee also. He was a follower, very, very well-known follower of Gandhiji. He lists that in across all 5 lakh schools, Ramayana, Mahabharata and Bhagavatam was taught in schools. Today, if you teach Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Bhagavatam in school, means we will have all flags raised and band karo school ko. So that means everybody studied Ramayana. Everybody knew Ramayana in and out. And when you're teaching it in a school, it is not like Ramanand Sagar's episodes, which is coming, which tells a little bit about some very beautiful that Ramayana happened in India, and this episodes happened, and this serial was telecasted. It brought back that Shraddha in the heart of people for Ramayana and Ram. But it also did one small damage. People felt that, oh, I know Ramayana because I have seen Ramanand Sagar's Ramayana. And everybody thinks Ramayana is just about these 15-20 stories of Ram uh, banished, Ram marrying Sita, then getting banished to forest, and then Bharata going to Chitrakoot taking his padukas, and then they spending time in forest, Chitrakoot, and then Dakshin Bhaga of Bharata, and then Ram and then Ravana coming taking Sita, Ram fighting with Ravana, taking Hanuman and Sugriva's help, getting Mother Sita back, and then Agni Pariksha banishing Mother Sita, and that is it. Rama Pattabhisheka. That photo that we have in the altar is Rama Pattabhisheka photo. So, so this is Ramayana, no doubt about it. But it is partial. If we don't read Ramayana, we lose the essence of Ramayana. Because, okay, does anybody know when does Ram counsel Bharata for leadership lessons? How to be a king? So all these details, the rasa, the knowledge, everything is in it. What we need for our life. All solutions lie in Ramayana. Equally good, or sometimes it is told even better, is Mahabharata. Reading Mahabharata. It is told what is not there in Mahabharata is not there anywhere else. And what is anywhere else is in Mahabharata. But we don't read these texts. Why? Why we don't read these texts? We all believe in Navavidha Bhakti, correct? That there are 9 processes to our devotional service, 9 limbs to our devotional service. Is so rich. The first method of Shravanam, who symbolizes this in Ramayana? Hanumanji. There's such beautiful pastimes in Ramayana where Hanumanji, when he actually reaches Lanka, he is searching for Mother Sita. And Lankini, he's already, slapped. So Lankini knows, she tells, I was given this boon that now I know that Lanka's end has come because I know this. Somebody told me that there is a prediction that when a monkey comes and slaps me, that is the beginning of the end of Lanka. You may please enter, and my role is done now. All this while I was protecting Lanka, and she had supernatural powers. So Hanumanji goes inside. He is going in every road. He is amazed to see the opulence of Lanka. Roads, can you imagine? Roads are made of gold and diamond. What to talk of palaces? So much of opulence because uh, it was made by Vishwakarma ji. And then he goes in, he sees that, palace after palace, people are drinking, people are, marrying, enjoying, in a lot of music is going on, dance is going on. And so much of sound is coming off, as if people are drunk and they're enjoying Rakshasas. And then he enters one palace. which is Ravana's palace. That palace is so beautiful. It is so huge. It is described in Valmiki Ramayana. He enters in and then he sees a huge chariot. He is amazed. How can, a chariot be inside the palace? It was nothing but Pushpak Vimana. He sees the details, and Valmiki ji mentions, in what level of depth and detail the whole Vimana. And then he goes in and he sees on the bed many women are lying, with almost no clothes on them. And he sees one so beautiful lady. Question, a thought crosses his mind: is this Sita? A Rakshasa is lying also there, who was Ravana. So he has the Ashtasiddhis and Navanidhis. He has Ashtasiddhis. He has taken a very small, form, and he's observing all this, and then he criticizes himself. He says, "How can I ever think like this? How can this thought even cross my mind that Mother Sita would be here? It is impossible. Impossible. Because before she reaches this state, she would have given up her body. So this cannot be Sita." And then he leaves from there. And then after leaving, he goes to the subsequently looking for Mother Sita. He hears in Lanka, he is hearing Ram, 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 Ram. He is shocked. कहाँ से आवाज आ रही है? Who is chanting Ram Naam in Lanka, that to Nagari of Ravana? So he goes in and he sees one Rakshasa is chanting the Ram Naam. Now he doesn't know who he is. In later part, when Vibhishana, along with four more Rakshasas, goes and takes Sharnagati of Lord Ram, is when Hanumanji gets to know that, oh, he is the younger brother of Ravana. But he's so amazed because he's continuously. So he for a moment forgets why he's come over there. It's like in Bhagavatam, Sukadev Goswami is frightened that he will never be able to take name of Radha Rani, because the moment he takes the name of Radha Rani, he will go into ecstasy. The same way, Hanumanji, when he hears Ram, Ram, he gets lost. He's so absorbed. Another instance where he gets absorbed like this is when when Ramji has won the battle, he's defeated Ravana, and it is 14 years complete. Now everybody says it's time to go back to Avadhapuri, Ayodhya. Ram is so sensitive. Just see the sensitivity. He says, in his mind, he thinks that, I know Bharata met me in Chitrakoot. I know he insisted that I should go back to Ayodhya. And I know he took my padukas, but I still need to make sure, because 14 years is a big time to elapse. When somebody is ruling a kingdom, one can start feeling interested in it. Yes or no? होता है ना कई बार हम लोग, we get so attached to the role, the mana, the pratishtha, the place, the position, that nobody should shake us, from there. I see many people who are young here. The biggest and the best way to actually grow is to create an alternative for yourself. If you are in IT industry, if you are in jobs, if you make yourself redundant, you will grow. Out of fear of our job, we don't make ourselves redundant. हम हर चीज अपने पास रखते हैं. Oh, this secret I will not give out. I will not create another person who can replace me. Believe me, the best way to grow is to create your own alternative. So Bharata has taken my padukas. He is ruling the kingdom for 14 years. Ramji thinks that, I should send somebody to know what is the state in Ayodhya. He had full trust on Bharata. Yet, he wanted to be so sensitive. So he says, Hanumanji, you should go. because I have not seen anyone better than you to sense. And Hanumanji had that ability. Can anybody tell where did Ram get to know Hanumanji's ability, this ability? Absolutely. When Ramji meets Hanumanji first time, Kishkinda, Kshetra, Hampi, what is today, when Ramji meets Hanumanji first time, Ramji is amazed by his eloquence. So he says, because Hanumanji is taken the sannyasi vesha of a mendicant, he says, you cannot be what you are appearing to be. Your eloquence, your knowledge, your choice of words, and your sensitivity of observation, all these things is telling me that you are somebody else. And he is able to see his locket, which was given to him by Lord Brahma. The moment he sees that, Hanumanji comes to his original form, and Hanumanji says that I was given this boon that only my Guru will be able to see this, what I am wearing. And you have seen it. I cannot anymore do chhal with you. I have to be who I am in front of you. And then Ram embraces him because Hanuman comes to his original Vanar form and Ramji embraces him. So Ramji says, Hanuman, you should go and observe. When you tell Bharata that Ram is coming back, what is the expression on his face? I want to know that. So when Hanuman is flying and is coming to Ayodhya, he is so above the ground, and then he again hears Ram, Ram, Ram. And he's wondering, इतना शुद्धता से नाम कौन ले रहा है? इतना अच्छे से कौन भगवान राम को याद कर रहा है? इतने अच्छी तरीके से. He sees that there is somebody who is lying in a pit. Now, just at the edge of Ayodhya, somebody who is in the pit. Pit मतलब थोड़ा और ground से नीचे dig करके somebody is sleeping there. जय श्री श्री राधा विनोद जी की जय, श्री श्री गौर निताई की जय, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जी की जय. So he is observing that why is this person lying below the level of the ground, and it is told in Ramayana that Bharata, because Ram will be walking on the ground and he is there because of my mother and primarily because of me, because Kekai wanted me to be the king, I will take this tapasya that for 14 years I will sleep in the lower level than what Ram is walking on. So he actually dug the pit and he slept in that pit. Now it might look, अरे क्या इतना tension लेके रखा है? But when we understand the importance of paschatap, we understand what it means. 14 years of remorse. In Bharat, we had a concept of prayaschita. And prayaschit means to take many difficult things on our own self, sometimes on our body, sometimes on our mind, and do it. So Bharata felt that because of him, Ram has gone to forest for 14 years. In fact, he tells his mother Kekai when he comes back from his Nana's place, Kekai Desh, he comes so fast, it is described how many yojanas he travels within just a span of 5 to 6 days. Today, most of our fastest vehicles cannot travel at that pace. We had horses which were running faster than that. And Bharata traveled that much distance to come to Ayodhya. He sees outside, in the moment he enters Ayodhya, he sees the first sign he sees is somebody watches at him, looks at him, and turns around. He gets to know something is wrong. Because people of Ayodhya also had in mind that Bharata is behind all this conspiracy. We say na sabotage. Like in Pakistan, it is always this game is going on. Sometimes army rule, sometimes prime minister rule, sometimes army rule, sometimes prime minister rule. So army always, you know, by force they will start ruling. Army rule they will get. Same way, people thought that Bharata is the person behind Rama being banished on the day of his coronation. And now, so one Ayodhya Vasi, he sees Bharata and he turns around and goes side, not welcoming him as a prince. That is the etiquette. Then the other sign he sees that Tulsi plant outside the home of every house have dried. So he's seeing all the bad omens. Oh, how can Tulsi plant die? That means people have not watered Tulsi plant. And in Ayodhya Nagari, how can somebody do like that? And then he sees that there is no rangoli made outside the house. So when do you not make rangoli? Only when somebody has died in your family. So he can sense that there is something gone wrong in Ayodhya. People have not made rangoli. He sees there is no torana outside the house. How beautiful. Just see, what are the practices of each and every house and how nicely Valmiki ji is interweaving these whole details into the Ramayana story. Yeah. That how everyone at home should practice. What are the signs of auspiciousness? So he immediately starts moving even faster. He immediately goes to his father's palace and he sees Kekai over there, and Kekai tells him, the first thing Kekai tells Bharata is, "Oh son, now there is no obstacle on your path of becoming a king." He's shocked. When you come after so many years he was at his Nana's house, he and Shatrughna. The first thing mother would say is, "Beta kaisa hai? Hmm? Kya khana chahega? What would you eat? Come, sit, take rest. You have come after so many days of travel." But what Kekai says is, now there is no obstacle on your path of becoming a king. And Bharata is already, big question marks he had in mind, now even bigger question mark. Bharata is quizzingly looking at Mother Kekai and is waiting for her to speak more. And then Mother Kekai says, "I have ensured that your brother Ram, not brother, that Ram is banished to forest for 14 years and that you will become the king." Bharata just crashes down, sits on the floor, on his knee, starts weeping. You know how much he loved Ram. There was unbelievable amount of love in all the four brothers. So he gathers composure in some time. He gets up and he says, "Here and now, here and now, you are not my mother anymore. I disown you as my mother, and you have even an ounce of a shame left in you. Please go to the forest and die. I am not your son anymore." And then Bharata starts walking towards Kaushalya's chamber, palace, because he feels that my mother is no more my mother. In any case, Ram was loved more, taken care more throughout his childhood and being in Ayodhya by Kekai than Kaushalya. This was the love Kekai had for Ram. Just by a small association with Manthara, how much she got distracted. So Bharata is going towards Kaushalya's chamber in anticipation that at least my mother Kaushalya will give me some solace. And जैसे ही वो वहां जाते हैं, Kaushalya sees that Bharata is coming. She gets very excited because it is told that Bharata was equally good in his behavior, in his character, in his even his knowledge of running a kingdom of being a king as was Ram. So Kaushalya felt that, oh, Bharata has come, my son has come. So she wanted to embrace him. She gets up, she starts running towards Bharata, and then she checks herself. Because she wants to make sure also if Bharata had an ounce of inclination, or was he behind this whole thing, or was it just Kekai? So you know what she says? She says, "Hey Rajan," to Bharata. Bharata crashes, again falls down, and starts crying that, oh mother, my own mother I left, and now my mother has left me. My other mother has left me. And that is when he counts those 50 sins. That this is 50 sins that a human being or a person on earth can commit. And if I had an ounce of desire to be a king, all the papa which one gets by doing these 50 sins should come on my head here and now. So if all of us want to learn what those 50 sins are which we should not commit, we should go and study Ramayana. And in Ramayana, we should study the Ayodhya Kanda, in which Bharata lists down his 50 sins to Kaushalya. One of the sins, or some of these sins, I can just briefly tell. Waking up after sunrise is one of these sins. So imagine what type of very, very basic, practical, actual what poisoning one's food, somebody else's food. So today, most of the farmers were spraying pesticide. What level of sin are they accruing on their own head? So the same Bharata, Ram also wants to test. The same situation has again arisen. And Hanumanji listens from so high where he's flying to come to Ayodhya that there is again somebody chanting Ram, Ram. And then he sees that just next to where Bharata is meditating or chanting, he sees that there is a small structure made where padukas are kept. And in those padukas, there is beautiful flowers decorated around. So he gets to know that he is none other than Bharata. So he goes and tells Bharata that, oh, Bharata, oh, best amongst the men, brother of Ram. The moment he says brother of Ram, Bharata's face goes. Somebody is calling my brother's name. Now, this is not easy to be in this state. We have to understand. See, it's one thing to look like a devotee, but then there is another thing to be a devotee. So Prabhupada said, fake it until you make it. But that doesn't mean we just keep faking it only. We have to make it also. है या नहीं? उसके लिए क्या चाहिए? उसको काम करना चाहिए. एक डिवोटी का सवै पुंसाम परो धर्मो यथोर भक्ति रथोक्षजे अहैतु की अप्रतिहता ययात्मा सु प्रसिद्धति. Savai pumsam paro dharma. The most important dharma of every living organism or living being is yathor bhakti rathokshaje. Is bhakti towards athokshaje, towards Krishna, towards Rama. Ahaytuki apratihata, uninterrupted and unmotivated. That is our dharma. All other things are to make it happen. हम लोग क्या करते हैं? हम इसमें उलझ जाते हैं. The making happening things is what takes our major share, and bhakti becomes, by the way or side business. और time मिला तो करेंगे. पहले अपना काम कर ले, सारे issues resolve कर ले, सब कुछ सेट कर दे, लाइफ में अच्छा एकदम सेटिंग हो जाए, सब अच्छा हो जाए, फिर ये देखेंगे, फिर ये देखेंगे, फिर ये देखेंगे. Actually, our education system has given this behavior and this nature to us, that we always look at happiness and success in future as a result, because बचपन से हम लोग एग्जाम के लिए ही पढ़े हैं ना, रिजल्ट के लिए ही पढ़े हैं. तो वो हमारा सेकंड नेचर बन जाता है. वो एग्जाम के लिए पढ़ के रिजल्ट के लिए पढ़ के भक्ति भी ऐसा लगता है कि वो फ्यूचर में है, आएगा वो डे आएगा जब मैं भक्त बन जाऊंगा. नहीं, आज नहीं कर सकते तो कल कैसे कर पाएंगे? आज को, इस मोमेंट को हमें इंपॉर्टेंस देना है। इस इस मोमेंट में, इसीलिए भागवतम में कहा है, इट टेक्स 1/11 ऑफ अ सेकेंड फॉर अस टू गेट रियलाइजेशन। जस्ट 1/11 ऑफ अ सेकेंड टू गेट रियलाइजेशन। श्रीमद् भागवतम से हमारी गाड़ी अटकी हुई है, हम लोग अटके हुए हैं, हमारे अपने करनी की वजह से अटके हुए हैं। तो हनुमान जी गोज एंड ही अगेन इज लॉस्ट। मैं यहाँ आया क्यों? नॉट दैट ही इज सेइंग लाइक दैट, मैं यहाँ आया क्यों हूँ, but he's so absorbed in Ram's name, what Bharata is chanting, and then when he tells Bharata that, when he's glorifying that, brother of Ram, Bharata is so ecstatic just listening Ram's name from Hanumanji's mouth. And Hanumanji is observing all these aspects. And then Hanumanji tells Bharata that Ram is coming back. What expressions Bharata had on his face, unexplainable. As if, something you had lost for such a long time and you find it. Something most precious somebody has found. That expression Bharata gives, and Hanuman is so happy. Hanuman feels that, wow, भाई हो तो ऐसा हो। और आज के जमाने में भाई भाई को मारने के लिए सबसे पहला थॉट भाई के माइंड में आता है कि यार ये प्रॉपर्टी में मेरा हिस्सा कितना हो। Everything has to be, clearly articulated in the will or in the document. Mother and father are worried about their children. ये हमारा ख्याल रखेंगे नहीं रखेंगे। So मरते तम तक भी वो अपना प्रॉपर्टी को अपने बच्चों को नहीं देते। वानप्रस्थ का कॉन्सेप्ट ही खत्म हो गया है। सब कुछ एकदम एंड तक हम लोग रोक के रखना चाहते हैं, बिकॉज वी आर नॉट इवन श्योर ऑफ आवर ओन चिल्ड्रन। दैट इज अ रियलिटी टुडे। व्हाट सोसाइटी हैव वी मेड? एंड वी फील वी आर हिंदूज, वी फील वी आर सनातन धर्म फॉलोअर्स, वी आर फूलिंग अवरसेल्व्स। सिर्फ नाम के लिए हम लोग अपने आप को सनातन धर्म फॉलोअर्स और हिंदू और भारतीय ये सब बोल रहे हैं। अंग्रेजों से भी बदतर तरीके का जीवन जी रहे हैं। Even worse than what Westerners would live. At least they are clear. I was listening to one lecture by Gaurang Prabhu, and he was telling that, for people who are asuric, they are not worried. They know they are doing bad and they do it. For people who are already there in their devotion, they are also clear, so they are dedicated. Problem होता है जो बीच का बैंड है, ना इधर ना उधर। हम लोग हमारे दिल में चाहते हैं कि हम लोग डिवोटीज बने, पर हमारे एक्शन में हम लोग पूरा जो कर रहे हैं वो आसुरी की है चीजें, या वेस्टर्नर्स जैसे जीवन जिएंगे। इसीलिए वी आर ऑलवेज टॉर्न बिटवीन दीज टू भावास और दीज टू, So Hanumanji goes back and tells Ram that, this is what the expressions were on Bharata's face. So Ram is so pleased. And then he says, come, let's go. Let's go to Ayodhya. My brother is waiting. All my Ayodhya Vasis are waiting for me. He knew. So Hanumanji symbolizes Shravanam. Like that, I invite that all of us should spend time reading, because each and every person in Ramayana symbolizes, something very precious. Can anybody say who symbolizes Kirtanam? Valmiki ji. Because he is glorifying Ram. He is the one who is singing the glories of Ram. And then he is the one who is teaching Love and Kush about the glories of Ram. So he asks Narad Muni in the beginning of Ramayana, "Oh Narad Muni, please tell me, who is the person? Is there anybody, first of all, I should, glorify, I should write about. Is there anybody who is the best amongst the men on this, in this Bhuloka, on the Prithvi? So Narad Muni says, lists down 24 gunas. And he says there is somebody who glorifies, who symbolizes all these 24 gunas, and it's none other than Ram. So Valmiki ji starts writing about, glorifying him. And Narad Muni tells 100 shlokas about Ram and Ramayana. It is told that this first 100 shlokas in Ramayana is something like Sankshipta Ramayana. From beginning till the end, Narad Muni tells Ramayana in just 100 shlokas, and then Valmiki ji elaborates it into 24,000 shlokas. What absorption a student should have. This is the absorption level a student should have. भारतीय प्रथा क्या थी? एक मिला तो सवा करके छोड़ना है अपने जीवन में. उसी से ही हम गुरु ऋण से मुक्त हो सकते हैं. The only way to get rid of the guru rina in this janma is whatever we have received, we should make it more by 25% minimum. If we have received 100, we should give back 125. That is what Valmiki ji did, not 125. If somebody calculates 100 ka 24,000 karna, to kya percentage kar diya? So that's why Valmiki ji is glorified as a person who is symbolizing Kirtanam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. Mother Sita. What absorption. All of us are sitting here. Can anybody stop us from, remembering something what is coming in our mind? No one can. We can just inspire कि बाबा ध्यान इधर ले आओ वापस से. ब्रेकफास्ट के लिए अभी ये टाइम है, प्रसाद के लिए टाइम है, ऑफिस जाने के लिए चलेगा, थोड़ा 15 मिनट लेट भी हुआ तो चलेगा, कोई पहाड़ नहीं टूट जाएगा. Believe me, now I am a teacher, but I have led very big operations. I was head of Europe for Mindtree. I was heading hundreds and hundreds of people teams. I learned from my manager, if you tell openly, 90% people would agree to what you are asking for. Maybe only 1 or 2% actually will say no. If you have a situation where you go and tell, and I did it. I was 6 years in Germany. All my customers knew what I don't eat. All my customers knew. Then if they call for a meeting and then on that day, if I have something else, that's, sorry, I cannot come on this day. So I would tell in the beginning of the year, these are my holidays, 7 days, 8 days, and they respected that throughout the year. They would never set a meeting on that day. It is our communication that, we falter in, and we have some fear in our heart that, अरे करेंगे तो या फंस तो नहीं जाएंगे, वो मना तो नहीं कर देंगे. मना कर देंगे तो मना कर देंगे, फिर तो अभी का स्टेट है ना. We are anyhow not getting it. So if he says no, okay, at least you did your bit. You requested sincerely. It didn't happen. And out of 100 times, 90% of the cases, it will happen. What you want, you will get it. Nobody is so unreasonable. We should learn how to openly, with heart, request. So Mother Sita is the one who symbolizes Smaranam. Always meditating on Ram. It is told so much of Smaranam that, when she was in Ashok Vatika for 10 months and Ravana would come, she would always keep a grass in between Ravana and him and herself. Ravana would ask, what is this grass? He was afraid. He knew he had a shrapa on his head. That if you forcefully want to, have a relationship with any woman, you will die there and then itself. So he also was afraid. One grass, he would see and he would say, what is this grass? So every time Mother Sita would say something else in memory, in remembrance of Ram. Once she says to Ravana that what is this grass? So she says, my husband Ram, he made Brahmastra out of this grass. You know what is that pastime? Kakasura or Jayanta, son of Indra. So Ram actually takes grass and he converts it into Brahmastra to kill Jayanta, and then Jayanta falls at Mother Sita. There is a full beautiful story. Please go ahead and read. I'm just short circuiting, coming back in Jayanta after doing many places going and all. He comes back and falls at Mother Sita's feet and apologizes. It's then when Mother Sita asks Ram that, forgive him, is when Rama takes that Brahmastra back. Otherwise, he was gone. Second time when Ravana comes and he sees, what is this grass? So Mother Sita says that, my husband, he came out of a pillar. He can come out of this grass also. See, these are some upakathas. It's not in Valmiki Ramayana, but there are many beautiful renditions of Ramayana which share little more details. Like, for example, Madhvacharya also has given Ramayana Mahatmya, and in his own, he has given some more details. Like that, there is Khamba Ramayana, there is uh, Tulsidas ji's Ramacharitra Manasa. For us, we should read first is Valmiki Ramayana. But to get the taste and rasa, later we can also take from bona fide sources of Ramayana, not just, anybody, everybody writing. ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए. So like that, she would tell, so much she was absorbed in Rama that everything she is connecting with Rama. On her right hand side, she would keep Ashoka flower. On her left hand side, she would keep leaf. Where right hand side, she felt that this is Ram and left is Lakshmana protecting me in Ashoka Vatika. Why? Because in the Ashoka flower in the center, there is a shape like a bow. So she saw Ram's bow in that flower and felt Ram is there protecting me over here. So that is where Smaranam, how are we absorbed? So Mother Sita symbolizes this aspect. Like that, there are all the, if I go on, it is like a 3-4 hour, we will just spend here. Already it is 9:10. We are short on time. But I will just quickly say, Pada Sevanam is Bharata. Now, Pada Sevanam doesn't only mean serving the padas of Lord, but also serving the padas of devotees of Lord. In Sri Vaishnavism, there is something called as Padu Sahasranama, Paduka Sahasranama. That's why how we keep our slippers. It's a very basic thing. Nobody should touch our slippers with their own feet. उनके सिर पे पाप चढ़ता है. Nobody should, hit a slipper of anybody else. Because आपका जो शक्ति है शरीर का वो आपके स्लीपर्स में भी रहता है. इतना महत्व है स्लीपर का कि पादुका के ऊपर सहस्त्र नाम लिखा है एक वैष्णव संप्रदाय ने. इतना महत्व है हमारे स्लीपर्स का कि हमारे आचार्य या गुरु सामने से जाते हैं तो हम उन जैसे वहां से निकलते हैं हम वो डस्ट को लेके अपने सिर पे लगाते हैं, नहीं लगाते, फिर भी हम अपने स्लीपर्स कहीं भी छोड़ते हैं. Now that doesn't mean we are giving so much importance to it. It just means that if we keep them properly, nobody else will touch our slippers with their feet. It's an etiquette. So Bharata, when all the Vanar Sena who won the battle or who fought for Rama, when they came back to Ayodhya, Bharata washed the feet of all the Vanars. You helped my brother. That is his absorption. That is Pada Sevanam. Washing the feet of, lotus feet of devotees of Lord. If I had time, I would have narrated Varadaraj Swamiji's and Kanchipurna's pastime here. Where Varadaraj Swami, Kanchipurna tells, I'm very short, in few seconds I'm just saying, Kanchipurna tells Varadaraj Swami, he was able to talk to Varadaraj Swami, Perumal. So he asks Varadaraj Perumal, What will happen to me? So many devotees come, they ask you through me whether they will go back to Vaikuntha or not, and you tell yes or no, yes and no. Will I go back to Vaikuntha? He says no. Varadaraj Perumal says no. Eh? I have been serving here only all my life. He says, you have not served my devotees. Varadaraj Swami leaves Chamara there. Sorry, Kanchipurna leaves Chamara there, his seva there, he runs away. That is the mood of a devotee. So beautiful, so ecstatic. So that's the mood of Bharata, Pada Sevanam. Archanam, Shabari, what a pastime. Guru Nishtha. Anybody knows how many years Shabari waited for Ram? How many months? How many days? Just wild guess. How many days? 13 years she waited for Ram. Matanga Rishi told her, Ram will come. Wait for him. And it is not just waiting, मतलब आएंगे तो तब कुछ खाना वाना बना दूंगी, कुछ कर दूंगी. No. Every day she cleaned that ashrama in anticipation Ram will come. Every day she would make rangoli that Ram will come. Every day she would pluck the fruits that Ram will come, I will serve her. हम लोगों को क्या मालूम है वो बेर खिलाई उस दिन? नहीं. Every day she did that. Every day she collected the fruits. Every day she waited for Ram. हम लोगों का माइंड में चल रहा है जॉब के लिए जाना है. नाम भगवान का और भगवान अभिन्न है, सेम है. इसीलिए कहा है कि भागवतम, भगवान का नाम कृष्ण और उनके विग्रह ये भिन्न नहीं है, ये सब एक है, एक समान है. She waited for 13 years. And the moment she met Ram, she gave him her, she tasted and she gave him. वाल्मीकि रामायण में ये कथा नहीं है कि वो अपना खा के फिर दी शबरी. But when she gave Ram bear, Ram had इतना खाए, लक्ष्मण हैरान हो रहा है कि मतलब कई दिनों से they had not eaten, but so much he ate that it is not possible. So Lakshmana is shocked. How much is he eating? So he wanted to reciprocate with the bhava of his bhakta. Same way how Krishna did with Vidura's wife. Vidura's wife is feeding Krishna the peel of banana and is throwing the banana away. And Krishna is eating the peel. And then Vidura sees and he says, "Arey Baba, kya kar rahi hai tu? You know, you're feeding Lord the peel of banana." She gets shocked. Oh, what offense I have made. But Krishna had tears in his eyes. He left Duryodhana's, Chappan Bhoga for the peel of banana. That is the reciprocation of Lord. He is not looking for our opulence. He is not looking for what we can offer. Many people fall in this trap. अरे मेरे fast paced life पूरा 12-12 घंटे 14-14 घंटे में खूब पैसा बनाऊंगा फिर दान दूंगा दक्षिणा दूंगा उससे अच्छा होगा. It is good, but it is 3-4 steps away from completely absorbing in the bhakti. 12th chapter Bhagavad Gita, please read. Krishna is giving all these steps of what are the possible steps in our bhakti. So offering the results of our karma is the fourth step in that ladder of seva or absorption in Lord. This is the mood of Shabri. Immediately after serving Ram, Ram says, "What do you want?" She says, "I want to go back to where my Guru is. Please give me permission." Ram has had tears in his eyes. A person waited for 13 years to serve a moment of seva to Lord, and then she self-immolates herself by her tapasya. She just sits there, absorbs, and she just burns herself off with that tapo agni and goes back to where Matanga Rishi is so that she can serve her Guru. This is this is why our acharyas say that we should read, we should absorb in reading, इट इज नॉट अ रिचुअलिस्टिक पार्ट लेट हाँ मेरे आज एक पैराग्राफ हो गया, एक वर्ष पढ़ लिया, इतना कर लिया, वो करिए, क्योंकि रूपानुगा से ही रागानुगा हमें जाना है. वी हैव टू systematically absorb, and then we can become spontaneous in our absorption. But as I told, from faking to making, there has to be a continuous conscious movement. We have to self assess ourselves. Are we making progress, or I still have these anarthas in my mind troubling me? Hmm? Is the Jayanta in me, that Kaka in me, preventing me from serving Ram? Am I attracted to the opposite sex unnecessarily, or am I just absorbed in my marriage and pure in my thoughts? That is what Kakasura symbolizes, because he actually goes and on Sita's chest he bites in the form of a crow. Is my anger, is my greed, is my pride, is my lust preventing me from moving forward? What shall I do about it? Am I improving in my understanding of my spiritual scriptures? Am I improving in my sadhana, in my taste, in my absorption? This self assessment needs to be done. Then we can say, हाँ, अभी मैं faking to making में जा रहा हूँ. Vandanam is Vibhishana, Dasyam is Lakshmana, Sakhyam is Sugriva, and Atma Nivedanam is Jatayu. Each one of them, there is one hour we can discuss. Each one of them. I would stop here. Any questions anybody has? Have I left everybody speechless? Many times when we have heard with full absorption, we don't have questions. Clear हो गया. अभी मेरे को अपना आंसर ढूंढना है लाइफ का. या many times मैं कुछ भी नहीं सुना, समझ में आया तो भी क्वेश्चन नहीं होता है. But I can see you all were very absorbed. So there will be many questions, deeper questions in life. How to do, where to go, how to manage, how to overcome my anarthas, how to absorb. क्या करें, जॉब टाइम ही नहीं देता है, मैनेजर सिर पे खड़ा रहता है, इतना प्रेशर है काम का, है ना, बिजनेस का इतना टाइम ही नहीं मिलता है हाथ में, क्या करें, कब पढ़े, ये सब क्वेश्चंस माइंड में रहते ही हैं. लाइफ बहुत जल्दी निकल जाएगी आगे. इट्स अ रियलिटी. It's a reality that life, when you are young, when you are less than 16 years, we don't think that, ऐसा लगता नहीं कि, ऐसा लगता है लाइफ धीरे धीरे चल रही है. 10-12 साल में every child you ask, child wants to be like an older person, younger person, like somebody who is in 20s. हाँ, भैया की तरह होना है. So if somebody is 12-year-old will say I am 13. If somebody is 14, I am 16. थोड़ा सा बढ़ा के बताने का मन करता है. When you are 30 is when the first bell rings. You ask a 30-year-old, he will say, no, I am just 28. कोई 50 साल का हो गया तो आई मीन मिड 40s. बिकॉज सामने दिखने लगता है कि यार लाइफ ऐसा एकदम निकल गया, पता भी नहीं चलता है, पता भी नहीं चलता है. By the time we realize we are in our 70s and 80s and it's too late. ऐसा लगने लगता है. अगर हमने हमारा प्रिपरेशन ठीक से नहीं किया तो एक ऐसी हालत लगती है जैसे एग्जामिनेशन वाले दिन अनप्रिपेयर्ड स्टूडेंट की हो. जिसने तैयारी नहीं करी उसका एग्जामिनेशन वाले दिन कैसा हाल होता है, वैसा ना हो हमारा. इसलिए जब हमारे में एनर्जी है, क्षमता है, शक्ति है, समय है, हमें तैयारी करनी चाहिए. हरे कृष्णा. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. संकीर्तन की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.